We will have the whole class today, 1.5 hours, right? Okay, so I can tell my mom. It's just, she needs to know.
Yes, it's a good. Okay, so we will just wait for Bragica and we will begin. Can you tell me your name once again? Stefan. But Branko.
Sorry?
So, at first open the Lightroom, so it looks like it's in my thing, on my computer, so it is the same. And so today's lesson is about something what's called the library module. When you see up there, there is like library, develop, and other modules. So at first, I would like to ask you first question, Sam. So what did you find out about experimenting with Adobe Lightroom from last class?
I actually edited some of my own photos. I didn't use the reference ones we took the last class.
Did you find something interesting, like while going through the story?
Yes, I was able to make some quality changes for my photos.
At the end of the class, if you want to, we can have a look at the photos.
Yes.
And you, did you find something while experimenting?
Well, I didn't experiment, but from the last time I learned that we can have slight changes to the pictures, and I find it interesting and entertaining, and I use Photoshop for that. So
You said that I have to come on 10th November, which is today, so that's why I wasn't with the.
Yeah, I get it. Because there was also, I wasn't here for 1 week because I had a problem with the visas in the Czech Republic.
Yes.
And so you told me that Bragica used Lightroom on the web, right?
Yeah, on the phone, yes.
On the phone.
That was like a stickers or something, picture, or you know, there was a filter you can make on the picture. I was trying to make a notebook cover. That was my idea for an art project. That's what I was trying to make. I made one, but I deleted them because it was in 9th grade.
Okay, thank you. And the next question is like, imagine you have 10,000 photos in your computer. How would you organize them so you can quickly find the right ones?
How to organize?
Yeah, think about how to organize when you have 10,000 photos and more.
I actually know this option with the numbers as it's mentioned here, so you can star your photos. That's basically how I did all of mine. I mean, I'm not having 10,000 photos, I'm having 7, but I was some sort of rating my photos and how they turned out.
And you also organize your photos in folders, like by date and so on, or what do you do?
But mostly, yes. Mostly rated.
And when you shoot photos, do you do both to RAW and JPEG, or do you do just the JPEG?
No, I'm doing the JPEG.
The JPEG, okay. So just, this is like theoretical questions, so think like you have 10,000 photos in your computer, that's a lot. How would you organize them so that, just how would you organize that amount of photos?
I'll sort them in folders and by title and date.
Okay.
I will also organize them in folders, but if they are the same photos in the same place, maybe I will organize them in folders. Like, there will be many folders, but like for example, I will have 10 folders in one folder. I will have 10 pictures in one folder, and it will be easier to find. With some kind of visual thing, I can organize them. As I said, if they're in the same place or date or something, same picture but in different. If, for example, we have pictures from here, and if they're in different places in here, I can organize in one folder, which is going to be easier.
Okay, for the answer. So.
Yeah, my English is not very fluent, so yes, I was trying my best.
That's fine. And now, Branko, I wrote the email whether you are looking for the program for the RAW program on mobile. Have you had a look at it, or did you find something?
Well,
How about
actually.
No. Okay. So now I will explain. So the develop module or the library module is actually used for organizing. And the thing is that when you have folders, you can have a problem that you have folders, for example, based on a date, like the one which you downloaded. There is always year, month, and the day. But imagine that when Babica said you have some photos which are, for example, from the same place, but from different dates, or same people, but at different dates. So that it gets complicated, because if you don't have folders properly named, you would have to go through with them, and if you have like 50,000 photos and more, which is normal after 2 or 3 years of taking photos, it would be very hard to find like the church, the same one. So imagine that somebody is coming to your home, like your friend, and you've taken many photos of them. But then you would have to go through like photos from this year, year before, the month. It gets complicated.
Yeah.
So then the thing is that the library module offers you many features how to sort photos based on like rating or something like rating, or it also has face recognition. So it means that you can actually automatically recognize faces when name the people, and it will go through all of the photos and it will recognize. It's like 50% precise, but then the more photos of one person, the easier it is for the algorithm to recognize the faces. So then when your friend comes over, you just write his name, it's like the keyword in it, and then it shows you all the photos and the friend can pick. So it makes it easier to sort the photos. But the structure which is in there, when you have folders, you just have like C drive and so on. But Lightroom has a relatively different organization. So when you open Lightroom, and sometimes when you close the Lightroom, you can see that it tells you back up the catalog or something like that. And so the top thing, it's like the big flick cabinet, it's something what's called the catalog. You usually create only one, for example, like for all photos. And then you actually have folders in there, which are like, this is like the catalog, the one, and the folders are within. So then when we have the folder with the photos for today's class, these are like the folders. So when you import them, they are directly connected to the folders in the hard drive. But then it gives you an option whether you would like to erase the photo only in Lightroom or also on the hard drive. But if you rename the folder within the Lightroom, it will be renamed on the hard drive as well. It seems that this is the same when you add folder within the Lightroom. It actually creates the folder on the real hard drive where you have your photos. And then there is something, it's hierarchical. This is like the boss, these are like subordinates, and these are the cleaners of the house. And then you have collections. So imagine that you have, for example, like you are shooting a wedding, and part of the photos are in one folder from one day, but another photos are from another day in another folder. But you would like to adjust them in one folder, like together. So then you can create something what's called a collection, which is like above it. So it means that you can actually create a collection, and you can add photos from multiple folders to one collection based on the reason why you would like to add them. So this is like the structure. But as I said, whenever you press delete, there will be a dialog showed up whether you would like to delete it straight from the hard drive. When you do that, the photo doesn't exist anymore. But when you delete something from the collection, it's always deleted only from the collection, never from the hard drive. But then it gives you the option. So, do you have any questions about this structure?
I have a,
Go ahead, go ahead.
thank you. I have a question about the lesson about the collection, and which, if we want to delete the folder from a library, from Lightroom, it will be deleted only from the Lightroom, not from the hard drive?
So when you just, when we will then edit the folders which we have on real hard drive, and when you go through the folders, it will be the same, sorted in the same way as on hard drive, and you press the delete, it gives you a dialog where you decide whether you like the photo to be deleted only from the Lightroom itself, from the catalog, or from the hard drive.
Oh, I understand.
But when you have the collection, which is like a collection of photos from folders based on a specific topic, it means that when you press the delete, it's always deleted only from the collection. And when you have photos, when you have the same photo in multiple collections, and you make adjustment anywhere, the adjustments are still related to one photo. So it's still like, so when you have the same photo here and here, you make adjustment here, the adjustment will be applied there because it's still like one information about the adjustments.
Okay.
So if you delete that one photo that exists in two collections, it will be deleted in the old collections.
No, just from the collection where you deleted.
Okay.
This is like a sorting mechanism above the folders, which are on your hard drive. But most people usually use only the folders, but collections are very good when you like to make a collection for a specific reason. Okay, so the first thing you will do, we will create a new catalog. So the first thing, I think that we have already created the photos, so it means that we will just, after you create a new one, then we will just open the old one, and it will show everything that we have done so far. And so when you click on File, at the top of it, and the top bar, there is New Catalog, and it opens you this kind of window.
I can't click them. Why? I don't know.
Okay, I will give you a mouse, because when you use this, it's like touchpad is horrible for using for working photos.
Oh, I have a mouse. I can use it the next time, but I don't have now.
Oh, you don't really know. Okay.
Yes. So I will know from next time. Okay.
Okay. Let's try the next. Okay, now.
Oh, so now I can use it. Okay.
Now you can click on File. So now when you open, and you also have there is a sheet with like shortcuts, because when you work, it's much quicker to use the shortcuts than right click and go through all the menus. So then the shortcuts are used for speeding up your work. So let's click on File, New Catalog, and name the catalog like, let's say, class to so back my surname and catalog, and I will just put it in my own folder in DC4A in my own computer. And what it does, it's like when you create it, the Lightroom is restored because it must load the new catalog, the new filling cabinet.
So now I have to make a new folder in here.
No. I will. Okay, just go to, there is like that we have documents in DC4. Oh, it's your computer. Okay.
Yes,
So-
I will try. So
Okay. So go to documents,
Yes.
and create there your like folder. Let's name catalog.
I have mine here. Like, I think I don't know where it is actually.
But just for this case, because if you upload different one, just create a new folder for now.
Oh, okay.
It's because then we all work the same way.
So how I have to name it?
Just name it, for example, class 2 catalog, and you name it. Okay, so now when you have in the this name the catalog, you put there the name.
I put my name actually on the folder, so I make that still catalog. But
Open the folder.
Yeah.
And now then you have to put the name of the catalog because it's like a file. So you put it here and you name the catalog. It's like the file itself.
Oh, okay. So I have to name it
It's
catalog.
like class 2 catalog, for example.
I don't know if it's, I don't know how to write catalog. But
It doesn't have to be like percent. Let's create. And it restarts the Lightroom.
Oh, okay. I didn't know this one.
So now this is like clean.
I clicked on create catalog and then everything disappeared. Now I can't launch Lightroom.
Yeah, because I also had this problem. Open the task manager and go to, there should be the Adobe and just open task, all of them. And now try to open again and it should put. I don't know why.
Now the catalog is loaded.
Now it should be loaded. It is fine. So when you make any kind of adjustments, it's stored in the catalog.
Okay.
It means that when you use the file of the catalog, also your adjustments will disappear. So the adjustments are not stored in the files itself, but in the catalog file. So now there is the import one, which we did yesterday, so just click on the import one. And now just go to the folder where you have all the folders which we have copied today.
I will try actually to find them now.
And I have it down here. Okay, I have this library module and I have all of this down here, the 4 ones. So it's like that I will just import them. Like that I just select the 4 folders and I create on select folders.
I can't find my folder or something. I'm still
I mean,
searching.
It's like the place where you copied it from the flash drive.
Yes. Oh, it's in documents, and I have to find out how to. I found that photo in here too. I think, are these the photos, right? This one.
You have this Veracruz.
Yeah, that's my folder, which I made.
Okay, and then these are these 4 folders. So
Oh,
you
okay.
just do this and you click on import and it should be imported. Import means from the last class that you import them to the catalog and then you can make adjustments.
You imported the RAW or the JPEG?
Lightroom knows that when you have 2 photos together, they will just make the RAW. They just install the RAW. They know it. The Lightroom knows that there are 2 photos, but the RAW will be adjusted. Okay, so when you click on import, it will import the folders over here.
Okay.
So done all of them, so I will just click on import again. Then when you click on import, you have select source. So you do other source, and then you have these folders. So this one is already like imported, so just this, and we import it again and just click on import. It actually says that your hard drive is Bluetooth filled.
Oh,
I'll just check for space. see. Okay, but you have to load these, so I will just now, because there is just no space, so this will be.
No, there's no problem.
Just I will copy it to the D drive because it says that you don't have enough space over there.
I will clean it at home. I will try to clean it, so it's going to be better.
I will just create a new catalog because and now you just click on the import. It means that all the files are loaded here. Use other source, and then you can click on this PC. Now it's on D drive, and then you click on other class, and it loads everything.
Oh, okay.
Then you can check, uncheck all, and you click import.
Oh,
It
okay.
means now all the photos are being loaded to them, and now you can see that if you have the class here. And we have all folders over here.
And I will try to clean the home the other thing.
Okay.
I'm sorry for wasting your time.
Okay, so I will just click on the import, and then I will do other source. Now we have photos. I have them in D drive, class, here, and they're over here. Okay. And for example, you can either like upload the one which are underneath, or you can just select the folder, and it will include all of the subfolders as well. So just select the import, and there are already checked. So I just click import, and now you can see that it's being loaded here to the folder section. It just takes some time, depending on the computer.
You actually repeat the last thing? Can you repeat the last thing? Because
Oh, yeah, do you mean the import?
yes, the last import.
Okay. So you just do the import, and now it's always because you have some folder in here, but I always do that. I left click on it and I have other source, so I can just browse through the drive. And now I will just go to the place where I have that folder, other folders, which is here, and I have it here. There are 4 folders, and when I click above, this is the folder where the 4 folders are. So when you click on that folder, it will just load everything straight away. So for example, when you already have like 50 folders of photos in your computer, you just click on the folder where you have the rest of the folders, and it will be all loaded. Is it clear now?
Mine are still loading.
Yeah, probably because it was a little bit slower.
They're almost here.
Okay, it will be fine. It will just take some time. Yeah, you are loaded. And is it fine for you? Yeah, just import. So we can either import files, or we can just import like the whole folder structure. You don't have to do one by one. You can just click the folder and import 50 of them. But because when you upload a lot of them, they have to create something what's called preview, which is like these small pictures. And depending on the speed of your computer, it might take some time. Is it fine? Or is it still fetching?
Still.
Okay. Okay, while it's fetching, So just now we are not importing anything, but click on the import again. And now you can see that there is written build smart previews. What it means, imagine that when you have a lot of photos, when you have a lot of photos, then imagine that you have them on external hard drive. So you adjust your photos at home, and while the external hard drive is connected, you can work with them. But once you remove the hard drive where you have the photos, and you go to some other place, you can't adjust them. But the feature Smart Preview helps this. So when you click while you import and you click on Build Smart Previews, and then you have this compact cell. So you probably see this, the compact cell.
I don't think so. They're actually like this. I didn't click anything. Now I have to go on View.
Yeah, go on View. It's in the top bar menu.
Yes.
And then go to the Grid View Style.
Yes, I found it.
And then there's like compact cells or expanded cells.
Yeah, I saw them.
Okay, so click on the expanded cells. And now once you click on expanded cells, and then you ask if the RAW and JPEG, now you can see that it tells you whether it's or RAW. So you can see this is only like because we have one photo which is only JPEG and the second which is just the RAW, but it's the same photo. You can see here just ARE and JPEG. Then you have both of them. When you have both of them, always the RAW is adjusted first, not the JPEG. The good thing is that when you let's go to how to make a juice and click on the second photo and click on delete, and it shows you this dialog.
On the delete?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or you can click delete on your keyboard. That's quicker.
How you do that?
So when you go to one of the photos, like this one, then you click on delete, it will shows this dialog.
Okay.
So now when you click on it, it tells you delete the selected master photo from the disk or just remove it from the Lightroom. So when you click on remove, it's removed just from the catalog. It stays in the hard drive. But when you click delete from disk, the photo is deleted from the disk. But the good thing is, when you delete it from disk, is that it deletes both the ARE and the JPEG. So none of them are there. So because if it wasn't like that, you would have to do this manually, like in 2 windows. And if you have like thousands of photos from one event, it just gets too complicated. So that is the reason why you did this. So just click remove this photo, and now we have removed it.
Okay.
And now let's click on the import again, and let's go to the folder where we have deleted this photo only from the catalog.
So where was the import again?
It's here at the bottom.
Oh, import. Okay.
Yes, this is like the thing which is for loading. So just go to the place where all the photos are, and I have it here. And now because this photo, I deleted this photo from How to Make a Juice, step 1. So let's click on it and let's select one folder. So when you do this, you can see that only this one is highlighted.
Yes.
And the reason is because this one is not in the catalog. So because you don't want to have duplicate photos in the catalog, this is how it's done. So but then now we can click to build smart preview.